A 2-minute, 25-second Claude launch video has 77,540,790 views, but this isn't the feature small teams should focus on. If your inbox, CRM, billing tool, and customer files do not talk to each other, you're probably wondering whether tagging Claude in Slack finally fixes the problem. It can help, but most coverage skips the risky part: what the agent can read, what it can draft, and what it is allowed to change. By the end, you will have an approval-first model to use in your own stack. I build these systems daily for clients. Let's start with the permission decision behind the tag. Claude Tag is described as a beta feature for team and enterprise plans. The visible interaction is simple. Tag Claude inside a Slack conversation. Give it a task, and let it use the context already in that thread. The launch description also positions it around organization tools and work that can return over time, rather than forcing someone to open a separate AI tab and paste the conversation into a prompt. That is a useful interaction model. Context is already where the work happened. A sales rep has discussed a prospect in a thread. An operations person has identified an invoice discrepancy. A support team has a customer issue with files, links, and prior decisions scattered across messages. Asking an assistant from that same thread removes the copy-paste step and reduces the chance that someone leaves out an important detail. But tagging in AI is the least important layer here. The actual product decision is permissions. For a small team, every agent workflow should be separated into 3 levels. Level 1 is read-only context. The agent can inspect a Slack thread, a shared inbox, a customer record, a document folder, or a reporting dashboard. It can summarize what happened, find the relevant history, identify missing information, and flag exceptions. This is the safest place to begin because the system cannot alter business data or contact anyone externally. Level 2 is draft output. The agent can turn that context into a proposed email reply, a CRM note, a follow-up task, an invoice description, or a report for review. This is where most teams get immediate value. The agent does the repetitive first pass, while a human still decides whether the output is correct, appropriately worded, and actually ready to send. Level 3 is execution. This is where an agent sends an email, updates a deal stage, creates an invoice, changes an order, issues a refund, or spends money through a connected tool. It is also where a workflow can create compliance trouble, customer mistakes, and expensive cleanup if nobody has defined the boundaries. The common failure is granting all 3 levels at once because the demo looks smooth. A founder connects Gmail, the CRM, and accounting, then asks the agent to handle follow-up automatically. It works until a customer thread contains an exception, a CRM field is stale, or a draft is factually wrong. The AI did not necessarily fail at language. The workflow failed because it was given authority without a safe escalation path. Here is exactly how I build this for real operational workflows. First, an incoming event is routed into the place where an operator already reviews work. That could be a shared inbox, Slack, Telegram, or a lightweight dashboard. The system gathers only the context needed for the job. Then it produces a clear summary and a proposed next action. If the next action affects a customer, financial record, or system of record, it stops for explicit approval. That approval step should be more than a vague message saying, "Looks good." Show the operator the source data, the proposed action, and the exact destination. For an email, show the recipients, subject, body, and attached files. For a CRM update, show the current value and the new value. For an invoice, show the customer, line items, tax fields, and total. Then provide an approve, edit, or reject path. See examples of what we ship for clients at bizflowai.io. Approval first automations that connect the tools your team already uses. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you catch the next AI automation breakdown, where we test the workflow behind the feature. If you have a process losing hours to inboxes, follow-up, or manual data entry, book a free 30-minute discovery call at bizflowai.io.